boys and girls, welcome to our history lesson for this week, and it is the final history lesson in our half term of learning, and we have learned about 3 events that have happened during the last 1,000 years, and today we're going to pull this all together. Now, what I want to start out this lesson with is that you are entitled to your own opinion in this lesson, and although you've heard all of the evidence for all 3 events, what you decide on is completely your opinion, and you can have a different opinion to each other, you can have a different opinion to me, you could have a different opinion to your parents or the people living in your house. However, you need to make sure that you can back your opinion up so you can give it a little bit of evidence. But we're going to talk through that. First of all, we are going to have a bit of a recap. So we are going to recap the 3 events. Now, before I move on to the next slide, let's have a think in your head. What were the 3 events that we have learned about this half term? Have a think in your head, see if you can remember them. See if you can remember the names of all 3. You might remember 2, and then thinking, oh, what's that 3rd one? Have a think. Okay, let's see what they are. Okay, well done if you, I'm just going to move myself so I'm not over my title, there we go. Well done if you said the Battle of Hastings. So the Battle of Hastings was the first history event that we learned about this half term, and actually we spent 2 weeks on this, whereas the other ones we only spent 1 week on. Now what I've done here is I've got 6 facts, however only 3 are right. What I'd like you to do, I'm going to read them through, is I want you to decide which one you think is correct. Okay, so the first ones. So was the battle on the 14th of October 1066, or was it on the 14th of October 1067? I think in your heads, which one do you think it is? 1066 or 1067? Let's see who got it right. Oh, she says, will it work? No? There we go. Okay, the battle happened on the 14th of October 1066. Okay, let's try the next one. Well done if you got that one right. Was the battle shown on television, or was it documented in the Bayeux Tapestry? Have a think. Was it shown on television, or was it documented in the Bayeux Tapestry? Well done if you said it was the Bayeux Tapestry, that really long tapestry that we learned about in the second lesson that we did. It wouldn't have been shown on television because television hadn't been invented in 1066. So well done if you said that. Okay, William the Conqueror won the battle. We know this. But was he crowned at Westminster Abbey, or was he crowned at Stafford Castle? Have a think. What do you think? Westminster Abbey or Stafford Castle? Which one are you going to go for? Westminster Abbey. That's where he was crowned. Well done if you got those. If you've got 2, well done. If you just had a go, well done. Fantastic. So we're now going to learn about our next event that we did. So have a think. What was the next one we did? We did the Battle of Hastings. What came next? Was the Industrial Revolution. I keep having to, oh no, hang on. Oh, I've just told you the answer. I'm just going to move myself over there so I'm not in the way of the title. Well, we can still have a go. I had said, was farming production doubled during this time or halved? And we can clearly see the answer. The answer was it doubled during this time. Okay, so it doubled, production did during this time. Now, was it James Watt who invented the steam engine at this point, or was it Tim Berners-Lee who invented the steam engine? Have a think in here. James Watt, does that ring a bell? Or was Tim Berners-Lee who invented the steam engine during this time? Let's see. Is it going to be? Trust it not to want to. There we go. James Watt was the one who invented the steam engine. So well done if you said him. Last one. Did trading fall to an all-time low? Was trading bad? That means was buying and selling bad? Or did trading increase during the Industrial Revolution? What do you think? Did it fall or did it increase? That means get more. What do we think? Have a think in your heads. It increased dramatically. It rose. It was a lot more than it was before. Well done if you tried and you got those right. Well done if you got 1 right, 2 right, 3 right. Or well done if you just had a go. All right, our next one, let's have a look. Who can remember the final event that we looked at in history? We looked at the Battle of Hastings, we looked at the Industrial Revolution. What was that third one? It was World War One. Well done if you said World War One. So again, we're going to circle the correct answer. What do you think is right? Did the war begin in 1918? Or do you think the war began in 1914? Take your guess, 1918 or 1914? We should know this one. What do we think? It began in 1914. Well done if you said that one. Now, did the USA, that's the United States of America, join the war in 1917? Or did they not fight in World War One? Who can remember? Did the USA join the war in 1917 or did they not fight in World War One? Which one do you think? Oh, they joined the war in 1917, the USA did. Okay, now, last one. Did women fight in World War One, or did they begin having jobs that had been traditionally done by men? So some jobs were traditionally done by men, for example, mechanics, things like that, had always predominantly been done by men. So did women start to have those jobs, or did they go and fight in the war? What do you think? Well done if you said they began working in jobs that have been traditionally done by men. Very good. So what we're going to move on to is we are going to look at how these things change the world. So this history topic, I haven't actually told you because I wanted it to be like a little bit of a can they guess what it is all about events that significantly impacted the world, that made big changes in the world. So we've got our three events here. I'll start over here with the Battle of Hastings. Okay, so I've put down some reasons that they changed the world forever. Okay, so the Battle of Hastings, the battle decided our current monarchy. Okay, so that means our current queen is on the throne because of the events that happened at the Battle of Hastings. And it also put into motion the fact that England became one country, because before the Battle of Hastings, England had been split into counties and different kind of zones. And when the Battle of Hastings happened, William the Conqueror, who won, started to pull these zones all together to make one country. Okay, so that's the Battle of Hastings. Second one, Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution changed the way food was farmed and produced, and it changed the way, and that's very similar to the way we have food farmed and produced today. Very similar. Okay, the revolution built up cities we know. Cities like Leeds and Manchester, Birmingham wouldn't be as big and as rich and as have as much, has as many factories as they do today if the Industrial Revolution hadn't happened. And also, it made way for the technology we have today. I don't know if we'd have computers today, or iPads, or iPhones, or Xboxes, or cars, or trains, or aeroplanes. I don't know if we'd have those things today if we didn't have the Industrial Revolution. The third one, World War One. World War One saw fighting across the entire world. Okay, so it was fighting in Europe, Asia, Middle East, and Africa. Lots and lots of people died. It introduced new types of weapons, the war did, that hadn't been seen before. And also, as talked about in the previous slide, women began to have more traditionally male roles, which we still see happening today. So that there is more evenness between men and women being able to do any job that they wish. And there aren't just women nurses, but there are male nurses as well. And there aren't just male mechanics, there are female mechanics as well, meaning that you can be whatever you want in the future. Would that have happened if World War One hadn't have happened? I don't know. We don't know. So my questions for you today. Now, you might think, oh, these are a bit grown up, Mrs. Wilkinson. They are. But you've got all the facts. And remember, it is your choice. It's not mummy's, it's not daddy's, it's not nanny's, it's not grandfathers, it's not the fishes. It is your choice. And as long as you can tell me why you think it, you can have any opinion you want. Okay? So, which one of these events, Battle of Hastings, Industrial Revolution, or World War I, do you think had the most impact on the world? Which do you think changed the world forever? Which one do you think has impacted your life the most? What wouldn't you have if one of these didn't happen? Now, this is a very conversational lesson. So I would like you to have these conversations with the people that are in your house. Now, if they are busy today, you might choose to do this tomorrow, or you might think about having this conversation over tea, or dinner, whatever you want to call it. That's absolutely fine. You have those conversations, and it's okay to have a different opinion, so long as you accept their opinion and they accept yours. That's a grown-up debate. What I would like you to do is I have to move myself again. I need to find a special spot for me, don't I? So I'm not on top of any titles. Okay, so what I want you to do is, and this doesn't have to be done today, you could choose to do this later in the week when you've had those discussions. Which one do you think changed the world forever? Which one do you think has impacted your life the most? And what wouldn't you have if one didn't happen? So I want you to have a think about those events. Have a think about your opinion. You're all historians because you've watched the videos on this topic. What wouldn't you have? Which one do you think has impacted your life the most? And which do you think changed the world forever? This is a little bit of a trickier one. If you would prefer to tell me verbally rather than writing it down, that's perfectly fine. Or if you just want to write bullet points rather than full sentences, that's also okay. I'd love to see your ideas. I'd love to see your thoughts. Mr. Wilkinson and me had this argument, this debate earlier when I showed him this lesson because I wanted his opinion, and he was like, well, which one would you choose? And I gave my point of view, and he completely disagreed with me, and that is absolutely fine. Okay, it's absolutely fine that we have different opinions, and it's absolutely fine if you have a different opinion to me or the people in your house, so long as you can say why. I hope you enjoyed doing this. It's something a little bit different, a little bit more grown up, a little bit more year 2. So enjoy doing this, and I can't wait to see what you think and what you put. Right, bye boys and girls.